The village of Oakhaven nestled beside a river, sparkling like a silver ribbon. The river, a lifeline for the village, flowed gently, reflecting the golden hues of the sun. It was a sight that brought peace to the hearts of those who lived there. Rolling hills, painted green and gold, embraced it. These hills, with their lush pastures and golden fields, were the guardians of Oakhaven, standing tall and proud, offering protection and sustenance. Laughter echoed through the marketplace. The market was a hub of activity, where villagers gathered not just to trade goods, but to share stories and laughter, strengthening the bonds of community. Children chased each other, their joyous shrieks blending with the melodies of a flute player. Life was simple, peaceful. The innocence of childhood was cherished, and the melodies of the flute added a magical touch to the air. Oakhaven was a tapestry woven with the threads of tradition and harmony. Every corner of the village spoke of a history rich in culture and unity, where traditions were passed down through generations. The villagers, their faces weathered by sun and wind, were known for their warmth. Their smiles were genuine, a reflection of the hard yet fulfilling lives they led. They greeted each other with smiles, their hands calloused but their hearts open. Each greeting was a testament to the strong bonds that held the community together. Generations had lived and loved in the embrace of Oakhaven, their stories etched into the very fabric of its existence. The elders often reminisced about the past, sharing tales of love, loss, and triumph with the younger generation. The aroma of baking bread wafted from the bakery, beckoning everyone to its warmth. The bakery was a beloved spot, where the scent of fresh bread brought comfort and joy to all who passed by. The blacksmith's hammer rang, a symphony of labor and creation. His work was not just a trade, but an art. Each strike of the hammer a note in the song of Oakhaven's industrious spirit. Farmers, their backs bent over the fertile land, tended to their crops with care. Their movements a dance as ancient as time itself. Their dedication ensured that the village was always well fed and prosperous. The heart of Oakhaven pulsed with life, each beat a testament to the enduring spirit of its people. Every day was a celebration of life, with villagers working, socializing, and supporting each other. They were a community bound by love, loyalty, and the unshakable belief in the power of unity. This unity was their greatest strength, a shield against any adversity. Little did they know their peaceful existence was about to be shattered. The ominous clouds on the horizon were a harbinger of the challenges to come. A storm was brewing on the horizon, threatening to engulf their idyllic world in darkness. The villagers, unaware of the impending danger, continued with their daily lives, blissfully ignorant of the storm that would soon test their unity and resilience. Daniel, the miller's son, was no knight in shining armor. He didn't wield a sword or ride a majestic steed. He was just a young man, strong and agile from years of hauling sacks of flour, his muscles honed by the daily grind of mill work. His hands, though calloused, were gentle, capable of both hard labor and tender care. His eyes, the color of warm honey, held a spark of kindness that endeared him to everyone he met. Daniel was loved by all, always ready with a helping hand and a cheerful grin. He was the kind of person who would go out of his way to assist an elderly neighbor or play with the village children. He wasn't loud or boastful, preferring to let his actions speak for him. Daniel preferred listening to the whispers of the river or the rustling leaves, finding solace in nature's quiet embrace. The gentle sounds of the forest were his sanctuary. Often he wandered into the nearby woods, seeking the company of ancient trees and playful squirrels. The forest was his second home, a place where he felt truly at peace. Daniel possessed a quiet strength, a resilience forged in the heart of nature. His connection to the land gave him an inner fortitude that few could match. He had a sharp mind too, always observing, analyzing. He could read the signs of nature like an open book. He knew the forest like the back of his hand, could predict the weather by the scent of the wind, and understand the subtle changes in the environment. He never sought trouble, never wished for glory. His heart was content with the simple pleasures of life. All he desired was the simple life, the comfort of his village, the warmth of his loved ones. The laughter of family around a cozy fireplace was all the reward he needed. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Destiny, like a rushing river, was about to sweep him away, forcing him to face a challenge he could never have imagined. The calm, predictable life he cherished was about to be turned upside down. One evening the sky bled crimson, a chilling premonition. An unnatural silence descended upon Oakhaven, replacing the usual symphony of life with an unsettling stillness. The laughter of children ceased. Birds stopped their songs, seeking refuge in the depths of the forest. A shiver ran down Daniel's spine. Something was wrong. Words spread like wildfire goblins. Creatures of darkness, driven by greed and malice, were approaching Oakhaven. They lurked in the shadows, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. Panic gripped the village. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through the hearts of the villagers.
The goblins' insatiable hunger for gold and their utter disregard for human life is upon us.
The villagers huddled together, their faces pale, their whispers frantic. Their peaceful world was crumbling around them. The air grew heavy with dread. The once familiar paths now seemed ominous, the rustling leaves whispering tales of impending doom. The villagers, their faces etched with fear, looked towards the horizon, their hearts pounding in their chests. Hope, like a flickering candle, threatened to be extinguished by the encroaching darkness.
Men and women of Oakhaven, we must come together. Our village faces a threat unlike any we have seen before. Our courage and unity will protect our home. We must stand as one, for only together can we hope to prevail.
The village elder, his voice trembling but resolute, called for a meeting. His eyes scanned the crowd, seeing the fear and determination in equal measure. Men and women, their faces etched with worry, gathered in the village square. They knew the gravity of the situation, and the air was thick with tension. Fear hung heavy in the air, a suffocating blanket that threatened to overwhelm them. Yet there was also a spark of hope, a glimmer of resilience.
We must fortify the village using whatever we can find, farming tools, sharpened sticks, even kitchen knives. Every able hand must contribute to our defenses. Women and children gather supplies. We need food, water, and anything that can be used to protect ourselves. We need everyone to help. No task is too small, no effort too insignificant. Our survival depends on it.
A plan began to form, a desperate gamble to save their home. It was risky, but it was their only chance. Women and children were tasked with gathering supplies, their faces pale but determined. They moved with purpose, knowing the importance of their role.
Daniel, are you sure about this? It's dangerous out there. The forest is no place to be at night.
Daniel, his heart pounding in his chest, volunteered to scout ahead. He knew the risks, but he also knew the forest better than anyone. He knew the forest like the back of his hand, its secrets and hidden paths. Every tree, every rock was familiar to him. He would be their eyes and ears, their only hope against the encroaching darkness. His keen senses would guide him.
Be careful, Daniel. Come back safe. We're counting on you.
Armed with his father's hunting bow and a quiver full of arrows, he ventured into the deepening twilight. The weight of his mission pressed heavily on his shoulders. The forest felt different now, menacing and cold. Shadows seemed to move, and every sound was amplified in the stillness. Each rustle of leaves sent shivers down his spine. He had to stay focused, had to remain vigilant. He had to be swift, had to be silent. Every step was calculated, every movement deliberate. The fate of Oakhaven rested on his shoulders. He was their last hope, and he would not let them down. The forest, once a sanctuary, now felt like a labyrinth of shadows. Daniel moved silently, his senses on high alert. He could hear them in the distance. Guttural growls, the clang of metal against metal. They were closer than he thought. He spotted their camp, a chaotic mess of crude tents and flickering torches. They were more numerous than he'd imagined, their eyes glowing with malice. He had to warn the villagers, had to find a way to slow them down. An idea sparked in his mind, a dangerous plan, but their only hope. He gathered dry leaves and twigs, his heart pounding against his ribs. He needed fire, he needed chaos. With trembling hands, he struck his flint and steel. A spark flew, igniting the dry leaves. The fire spread quickly, flames licking at the night sky. The goblins panicked, their guttural cries echoing through the forest as their camp was engulfed in flames. Daniel, his heart pounding, disappeared into the shadows, racing back towards Oakhaven.